Hello everyone, and welcome back to another drawing time of INKroverts. This time we are drawing Sakai from Ghost of Tsushima. We are at the drafting stage. I didn't actually play the game myself, but I saw a lot of video playthrough of it, and I can feel the hype without playing the game myself, I should say. And so I decided, why not? And started to look for a lot of references for the game. And speaking of references, I was plowing through a lot of gaming screenshots of Ghost of Tsushima, and unfortunately a lot of them aren't very, I should say, informative, because they are usually not reference sheets. They're usually showing off environments, and then the character is just really small, basically a patch of shadow in the corner of the screenshot. And so it was quite difficult trying to find suitable reference photo or whatnot. And so this came up, which is the inventory screen, where you get to change the character's outfit, and is the most informative thing I can get. You know, I can't see the side of him, I can't see the back, but overall I can guess what he's wearing, even though the resolution is not very high. And anyway, and then I realized that I also had to draw his face as well, as at least half of his face. And so luckily this promotional artwork has this close-up shot of his face there, and I can take it as reference, as a guide. Now, I'm not sure whether I completely accurately draw every piece of samurai armor here. There might be a lot of mistakes that I can't pick up on, at least at that point. So bear with me. Now I am doing what's called the value composition, which means that I'm dividing the piece of artwork in different values. The lightest grey at the very back is the background, and the closest place are filled with a dark grey. It's a process to separate things from background and foreground, from light and shadow, so that as artists or viewers, you have a better idea of what the artwork is about, even at the first glance, even from far away. But tell you what, this is the first time I'm doing this after my art course. I've just learnt the technique in the art course about this grey value composition thing. Before I straight up went ahead and do the colour composition, which is a different thing. Now I'm trying out the value composition, which I think is not my best, because if you look closely, you know, if I want to separate the foreground and the background, his face, the side of his face where the cap is, what his hat, I don't know if I should call it cap, what his hat is covering his face is covered in a dark shadow, but then the katana and then the shadow on his hand hovering above the katana has also this really dark grey shadow. And so if they have the same shade of shadows, I was giving out the wrong message. And so it can come off as a bit confusing. And I think I should have made both the hand and the katana the same dark value if I want to let the body be a lighter value and the background be the lightest value, because things can be much clearer as that. But now let's just carry on. I'm adding colours here and there. I was supposed to be landing some local colours, but they all seem to be a bit greyish and bluish compared to the reference image. The weather is kind of cool, the atmosphere is kind of cool, his expression is kind of cool, and so I would tone everything towards cooler color. And if you look at the reference photo, you can see the light is sort of not as cool. There's a bit of yellowish light even shining on his black armor, and then the red leaves around his feet also gives out a warmer feeling. I could have followed that. I could have followed the overall atmosphere of the reference image. It'll probably turn out much better, but at that point I was experimenting with the colors and having fun and having fun about making mistakes in general. And if you have watched my other videos, you would notice that my art style has slowly changed from colouring on top of line art to just drawing out shapes, angular shapes here and there. At the end, there will be no lines in sight. I kind of like that style. Sort of reminds me of some Legend of Zelda games, like Wind Waker and Breath of the Wild, where you see really saturated colors, and the character is sort of 3D, but then sort of painterly. And now you can see me adding the wind. I was torn between what kind of layer I want to set for the wind. At first it was light layer and screen layer, because it's sort of toned down the shadow on his face for a bit, and it makes me feel better about the overall value. But then I changed it to color dodge at the end, so that it makes the color pop. And also because later in this drawing process I eventually decided that this cool color composition is just too cool and a bit boring, and so I tried to tone up the saturation a bit and then added more color varieties, because in my art style I tend to add quite a lot of colors patched around. Sometimes it can come off as messy, but then I got my lesson from my art courses and I try not to make so many mistakes about my colors. But anyway, I would prefer my drawings to be colorful and detailed, and so later I will use the selective color and then change the hue, tweak things a bit here and there, and then, well, you see. So I will step aside now and let you enjoy this video, and I'll see you at the end. Hello, I'm back. What you're seeing here, I pretty much wrapped up the character at this point, but then I decided I wanted to tweak the colors a bit more and then add a bit of flying leaves as small touches, but then I forgot to record them. But those are really small things, so you didn't miss out much, and I'll show you the result of the painting. And that's pretty much the end of it. If you like this video, make sure to click like and subscribe to INKroverts. And you can also check out my Instagram page and website, as you can see here. And I'll see you next time. Bye!